Disrespect cuts deep, not because of the words spoken, but because of what it awakens inside you. A colleague talks over you. A so-called friend mocks your ideas. A stranger throws an insult your way. In that split second, your heart pounds. Your fists tighten. Your mind races with a perfect comeback. Should you lash out? Should you stay silent? This is where most people fall. They either explode in anger or shrink into silence, handing their power over to the one who disrespected them. But the truly wise take a different path. The Stoics understood something most never will. Disrespect only has power if you give it power. Your dignity isn't up for negotiation. It can't be stolen, only surrendered. Today, we're revealing 12 powerful Stoic strategies to handle disrespect without losing yourself in the process. No anger, no shame, no regrets, just pure, unshakable control. Because the strongest response isn't about proving a point, it's about proving to yourself that no one dictates your worth. 1. Recognize what you can and can't control. One of the core principles of Stoicism, taught by the philosopher Epictetus, is the idea of control. He called it the dichotomy of control, which is the idea that there are things we can control and things we can't. Understanding this distinction is essential, especially when dealing with disrespect. What can you control in these situations? The answer is simple: your response. You can control how you think, how you act, and how you choose to react emotionally. You have the power to decide whether to engage with the disrespect or whether to walk away with dignity. You control your own actions and your own thoughts. But here's the catch: there are things you can't control. You can't control other people's behavior, their words, or their opinions. You can't make someone be kind, respectful, or understanding. And while that may feel frustrating, the Stoics teach us that we don't need to control others to protect our peace. What's important is that we don't allow their actions to dictate how we feel or react. So, the key to maintaining your dignity when faced with disrespect is recognizing this boundary. Once you accept that you can't control the disrespectful actions of others, you can shift your focus to what you can control: your response. You can choose to respond with calm, with reason, or even with silence, knowing that your peace doesn't have to be disturbed by someone else's lack of respect. By understanding this distinction, you can keep your inner peace intact, no matter how others behave. And that's where the true power lies: your ability to remain composed and centered in any situation. 2. Practice self-reflection before reacting. When faced with disrespect, it's easy to feel the urge to react instantly, whether that's snapping back with a sharp response or letting the anger build up inside. But Stoicism teaches us to pause before we react. This moment of reflection can be incredibly powerful. The Stoic practice of pausing before reacting is not about suppressing your emotions or ignoring how you feel. It's about creating space between the trigger, someone's disrespectful words or actions, and your reaction. In that pause, you have the opportunity to reflect on what's really going on inside you. Ask yourself, why is this bothering me so much? What is it about this situation that's causing this emotional reaction? Maybe it's a wound from the past, or perhaps the person's behavior challenges your sense of self-worth. By reflecting, you can understand your emotional response, which helps you gain control over it. Instead of reacting impulsively with anger or frustration, you can use this pause to decide how to respond in a way that aligns with your values. Self-reflection allows you to step out of the heat of the moment and make a choice that preserves your dignity. This might mean walking away, calmly setting a boundary, or choosing to ignore the disrespect altogether. Either way, the goal is to respond thoughtfully, not react in the heat of the moment. 3. Focus on your own virtue. In Stoicism, virtue is at the heart of everything. Virtue means living in alignment with values like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. When you face disrespect, it can be easy to get caught up in your emotions and act in a way that doesn't reflect your best self. But Stoicism encourages you to stay rooted in your virtues. The Stoic view is that we should act according to our own virtues, no matter how others behave. If someone disrespects you, the situation is testing your ability to remain just, calm, and wise. By focusing on your virtue, you maintain your integrity even when others act in a way that might tempt you to lose control. For example, if someone insults you, you can respond with wisdom and temperance. Instead of getting caught up in the insult or retaliating with an insult of your own, you can remain calm and choose not to engage. By doing so, you uphold your dignity and show strength through restraint. In moments of disrespect, it's helpful to remind yourself of the virtues you hold dear. Think to yourself, what is the wise choice here? What would justice or temperance look like in this situation? This reflection allows you to act in line with your values, which ultimately strengthens your character and helps you maintain your dignity. By using your virtues as a shield, you can stay composed and act with integrity, no matter how others treat you. This way, you preserve not only your peace, but also your sense of self-worth. 4. Don't take it personally. When someone disrespects you, it's easy to feel like their actions are somehow about you. You might think, what did I do to deserve this? Or, why are they treating me like this? But Stoicism teaches us that other people's actions are a reflection of them, not of us. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When someone disrespects you, it often says more about their own state of mind, their struggles, or their insecurities, rather than anything about you. This perspective can help you avoid taking their behavior personally. Instead of internalizing their disrespect, remind yourself that it's not about you, it's about them. One Stoic concept that supports this idea is apatheia, which means freedom from passion. In simple terms, it's the practice of detaching emotionally from external events or actions. When someone disrespects you, instead of letting their words or actions stir up anger or frustration, you can practice apatheia. This doesn't mean you become cold or indifferent. It means you create space between what they've said or done and how you respond to it. By practicing apatheia, you stop allowing other people's disrespect to control your emotions. You stop giving them the power to disturb your inner peace. Instead, you remain steady and calm, knowing that their actions are theirs to deal with, not yours. This detachment allows you to keep your dignity intact and maintain control over your own emotional state. 5. Avoid the need to defend yourself. Sometimes, when we're disrespected, our first instinct is to defend ourselves. We feel the need to justify our actions, prove our worth, or set the record straight. But Stoicism teaches us that we don't always need to defend ourselves, especially when we know our own value. The Stoics believe that silence is often the best response to disrespect. When someone disrespects you, responding with a sharp retort or an angry comeback may only escalate the situation. Instead, practicing the Stoic wisdom of silence allows you to remain calm and avoid unnecessary conflict. It gives you time to reflect, regain your composure, and choose your response wisely. Part of this comes from not needing validation from others. Stoicism teaches us that our worth isn't dependent on other people's opinions or approval. When you trust in your own value and integrity, you don't need to defend yourself in order to prove you're right. You already know who you are. Instead of feeling the need to justify yourself, practice restraint. Stay silent if necessary and focus on maintaining your inner peace. The more you practice this, the less you'll feel the urge to react defensively. You'll learn that your dignity doesn't rely on proving anything to others. It comes from remaining true to yourself, no matter how others behave. 6. Be mindful of your reactions. One of the key teachings in Stoicism is emotional control. When we're disrespected, our first instinct might be to react, sometimes with anger, frustration, or even a desire to get back at the other person. But the Stoics emphasize that we have the power to control our emotional responses. Emotional detachment is a crucial part of this. It's the practice of recognizing that while you can't always control how someone else behaves, you can control how you react. Being mindful of your reactions means taking a moment to pause, breathe, and reflect before you respond. Instead of letting anger or frustration take over, you can choose a more thoughtful, dignified response. The Stoics believe that external events, like being disrespected, don't disturb us. It's our reaction to them that causes emotional turmoil. So, when you feel that rush of anger or hurt, remind yourself that you have the ability to decide how to respond. You can choose to stay calm, stay silent, or even let it go. By being mindful of your reactions, you maintain control over your emotions instead of letting them control you. This allows you to preserve your dignity, no matter what happens around you. 7. Choose your battles. Not every disrespect needs to be confronted. In fact, the Stoics encourage us to ask ourselves whether a particular situation is worth engaging in. The Stoic perspective is that we don't need to react to every slight, insult, or misunderstanding. Sometimes, the best choice is to walk away. Practical wisdom in choosing battles means recognizing when engaging with someone will only escalate the situation, or when it's better to simply let it go. Not every disrespect requires a confrontation, and some people are only looking for a reaction. Stoicism teaches us that we should reserve our energy for what truly matters, maintaining our inner peace and integrity. By choosing your battles wisely, you focus on your own well-being, rather than being dragged into every negative interaction. You'll find that many situations don't need a response at all. Sometimes, it's enough to recognize that the other person's behavior says more about them than it does about you. By letting go of the need to fight every disrespect, you preserve your energy and your dignity. 8. Practice humility and forgiveness. Humility is an important Stoic virtue. It allows us to let go of the need for revenge or retribution when we're disrespected. The Stoic view is that we are all human and that everyone has their flaws and struggles. When someone disrespects us, it doesn't always come from a place of malice. It could be a reflection of their own pain, insecurity, or misunderstanding. Forgiveness is another core Stoic principle. The Stoics teach that holding on to grudges only harms us in the long run. By practicing forgiveness, we free ourselves from the emotional weight of resentment. When we forgive, we are not excusing the other person's behavior, but we are choosing to let go of the anger and frustration that comes with holding on to the offense. When faced with disrespect, practicing humility and forgiveness allows you to rise above the situation. Instead of holding on to anger or seeking revenge, you can choose peace. By forgiving, you let go of the emotional burden and maintain your dignity. You free yourself to move forward without carrying the weight of past wrongs. This practice doesn't make you weak, it makes you stronger, as it takes far more strength to forgive and let go than it does to hold on to resentment. 9. Keep your integrity. Integrity is at the core of Stoic philosophy. Stoics believe that no matter what happens around you, you must remain true to your character. This means sticking to your values and principles, even when others behave disrespectfully. When someone disrespects you, it can feel like a test of your integrity. Their words or actions might challenge your beliefs, your sense of self-worth, or your patience. However, Stoicism teaches us that how we respond in these moments defines who we are. Disrespect often pushes us to react emotionally, and in those moments, our integrity can be tested. It might be tempting to retaliate or to lower ourselves to the same level of disrespect. But the Stoic approach is to stay true to who you are, regardless of what others do. If you value kindness, patience, or fairness, you must continue to embody those virtues, even in the face of disrespect. To stay true to your character, you need to pause and reflect. Think about the kind of person you want to be, not just in easy situations, but in challenging ones too. When faced with disrespect, ask yourself, what would my best self do here? By focusing on your values and acting consistently with them, you preserve your integrity and your dignity, no matter how others behave. 10. Use disrespect as a learning opportunity. In Stoicism, adversity is seen as an opportunity for growth. Disrespect, though painful, can be an excellent teacher if we approach it with the right mindset. Instead of seeing disrespect as a personal attack, Stoicism invites us to view it as a chance to learn. Every time someone disrespects us, it's a chance to examine our own reactions. Are we getting angry or defensive? Are we internalizing the disrespect and letting it affect our peace? The Stoics believe that our emotions, particularly those triggered by external events, offer valuable insights into our own character. When you face disrespect, instead of reacting impulsively, ask yourself, why does this bother me? What can I learn from this reaction? Disrespect teaches us about our own emotional triggers and how we handle conflict. It's an opportunity to build emotional resilience and improve our ability to stay calm and composed in difficult situations. The Stoics use challenges like these to practice self-control and deepen their understanding of themselves. By turning disrespect into a learning opportunity, you can grow stronger emotionally and develop better control over your reactions, ultimately becoming a more resilient and wise person. 11. Detach yourself from toxic environments. Stoicism teaches us the importance of detaching ourselves from negativity. In situations where you constantly face disrespect, it's essential to evaluate the environment around you. Is it healthy for you? Is it contributing to your peace, or is it draining your energy and testing your patience? Stoics encourage us to distance ourselves from toxic environments, as they undermine our emotional stability and peace of mind. Knowing when to walk away is an important skill. If you find yourself in a situation or relationship where disrespect is constant, it may be time to step back. This doesn't mean giving up on people or situations, but recognizing when a relationship or environment is no longer serving your well-being. By stepping away, you are prioritizing your own peace and emotional health. Practical application of this Stoic principle means being honest with yourself about the impact of your environment. Ask yourself, is this situation draining me? Is this relationship causing me more harm than good? When you recognize that a toxic environment is affecting you, take action to distance yourself. This could mean setting boundaries, limiting your exposure, or even removing yourself from the situation entirely. By detaching from negativity, you protect your inner peace and preserve your dignity. 12. Build resilience through Stoic practices. In Stoicism, resilience is key. The Stoics believed that life is full of challenges, and we must be emotionally strong enough to face them without losing our inner peace. This strength, or resilience, comes from practicing Stoic principles every day, preparing us for whatever life throws our way. Building emotional resilience means strengthening your ability to handle adversity. The Stoics understood that we cannot always control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond. By practicing Stoicism daily, we build the emotional strength to weather the storms of life, including disrespect. One way to build resilience is through daily Stoic practices like journaling, meditation, and self-reflection. Journaling allows you to process your emotions and thoughts, helping you stay grounded. Meditation helps you focus on the present moment, clearing your mind of distractions and emotional turmoil. Self-reflection encourages you to examine your reactions and grow from them, making you more aware of how you handle situations. By incorporating these practices into your daily routine, you can train your mind to stay calm and centered, even in the face of disrespect. When you develop resilience, you are better equipped to respond with grace and strength, maintaining your dignity no matter what challenges come your way. Let's quickly recap the 12 Stoic-based ways to handle disrespect without losing your dignity. 1. Recognize what you can and can't control. 2. Practice self-reflection before reacting. 3. Focus on your own virtue. 4. Don't take it personally. 5. Avoid the need to defend yourself. 6. Be mindful of your reactions. 7. Choose your battles wisely. 8. Practice humility and forgiveness. 9. Keep your integrity. 10. Use disrespect as a learning opportunity. 11. Detach yourself from toxic environments. 12. Build resilience through Stoic practices. Remember, you have the power to respond to disrespect with dignity and composure. By applying Stoic principles, you can maintain your peace, protect your emotional well-being, and grow stronger through adversity. I encourage you to start practicing these Stoic strategies in your own life. Share your experiences with us in the comments below. How have you applied Stoicism to handle disrespect, and how has it impacted your life? Stay strong, stay wise, and as always, stay Stoic. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss new videos. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.